The February 6, 2018 Fisp Committee meeting. All members are present with the exception of Bob Chisholm, Ray Bacalt, and Kate Ivers. First item on the agenda is minutes of January 24th, 2018. Any questions, or do I hear a
I
motion?
can't make a motion, I wasn't here to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
A motion? Have a motion to second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay.
I abstain.
Abstain. Next item is police station. AV proposal, review, and vote to approve.
So we can defer over that.
I left the last
Dennis was
meeting.
not able to make it to the meeting tonight, so we can put it for the next meeting.
Okay. Next item is review fence quote, back of the police station. So we have a proposal here. I guess there were 3 bids given in, Anita?
Yes.
And the only thing we noticed, Mr. Hadley noticed before the meeting, that 100 feet behind the impound area, we looked at the plan and it's only 60 feet. So maybe we'll just put this off and get, I guess, 2 things I would ask for. Why it went to 100 feet, and if there's no good reason, why don't we just get it bid at 60? Is that what you think? Because it would lower the price a couple
Yeah, definitely.
$1,000.
I mean, it's, basically, it's what was requested by the planning board is what we need to be.
And it was 60 feet, and all we had to do was screen the back of the impound.
I don't see any reason to go over 20 feet each side.
And should we know what type of fence, or do
Yeah,
we,
that's a good, yeah.
If it's gonna happen.
so we know what we're getting?
In a plan, I think we were thinking of 6 feet with like a, what's it called,
A
lattice work at the top, so it makes it 8 feet or 7 feet, whatever. So if we can get an idea with the exact fence, you know, vinyl, I'd like to know everything from the proposal.
Does
So,
that include everything too?
yeah, I would imagine, yeah, it must be.
I would hope
installation.
so, but
If we can see that all written out. So we'll put that off till the next meeting also. And then anything else on the police station? Anybody? No?
Issue with the,
We do have to obtain easements from the abutters to put the fence on their property. So we have the document now for DPW to use. So the assumption is that you want DPW to be contacting the abutters to get the easements signed off. Okay.
So it's two properties we'll need to get an easement for.
and the, we want to do the RAC for police station.
So I guess we can go to that invoice RAC for the police station, invoice number 11, revised, $247,449. Final amount minus the value of the HVAC work still remaining.
There was concern that we've been holding the final RAC check because the work on the HVAC still needs to be redone. So it was asked that we allow that original check that we cut to be voided and to redo a new check minus the amount of the HVAC work that still has to be recompleted. So
One question I have is the electric bill. There's a question about the electric
I
bill.
don't know anything about that.
Electric bill,
Electric
some
bill.
issue in regards to the electric bill?
I saw an email on that, on it not being paid. I've called RAC, I haven't heard back from them yet. So there was a electric bill that was issued to RAC that has not been paid yet.
Do we know the amount?
It's,
2,000.
it's, $3,800, somewhere around that.
So should we move this minus another $3,800?
I asked John, and he said you can't,
You can't?
because of the bid procedures. You can only hold the money in, that's in the bid, that's in question. You
Oh.
can't, you can't.
It was a change order, this electric?
No, it was a bill that while they were working, I'm assuming they got this bill and they haven't paid it yet.
They own the police
They
station
own.
To the day we actually took it back over.
So they have to pay the electric bill while they owned it.
Oh, this is a,
RAC.
I was thinking it's an electrical contractor.
No,
They owe the West Boylston Electric Light Plant money.
So I guess my question is, why wouldn't it be, that is part of this contract, why wouldn't we be able to minus?
Brett, what would we do in this situation?
So I will look up the amount right now. We should just hold it with the $10,000. They can rec for it, once we get satisfied that it's paid for.
Okay, so we'll amend this 247, 449, subtracting that electric bill. Okay, why don't we hold on that a few minutes then?
Okay, want to do the other police station ones? WB Mason Police Station invoice number 151883796 for $360.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item is WB Mason Police Station invoice number 151825631 for $299.99.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
And then Lantel Police Station invoice number 18422 for $1,205.
So,
A motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So we will be still getting the bills when we start getting the bills.
because I think sometimes you can just show the.
And I think these,
Are the old,
yeah, these are already in the.
In the budget.
Yeah, these are already in, right? I think all these are already in. These aren't out of the extra. Yeah.
They just got delivered, basically, so.
Both invoice for furniture previously approved and built into budget, so I don't know about the Lantel, it must be. Okay, so we'll, he's looking for that bill for the, we'll come back to that. So next, we'll jump to senior center. Informal review of February 16th filed bid, sub-bid results.
We've got a couple different versions of the document in front of you. CBA did one, Cardinal did one, and we've got the one that came off of the project doc, but we have 8 bids for roofing, 7 bids for tiling, 5 bids for acoustical ceiling, 6 for resilient flooring, 8 for painting, 4 for fire suppression, 6 for plumbing, 9 for HVAC, 9 for electrical. And the estimated amount that CBA had put out there was $1,579,022. And it looks like the total for low bidders would be $1,524,824. So it's coming in just under what CBA had estimated that those final sub-bid quantities would be. But obviously, these numbers don't mean a whole lot. It's what we get with the GC numbers on February 14th that counts.
Do you know what happened with the fire protection that was off by 68%?
So, the fire pump and, the fire pump, work that you had, that we're having to do,
So the 150 for fire pump wasn't included in the estimate?
it was included in the estimate, but not at the cost that it's coming in at.
Okay, so,
So in talking to Cogswell, that work was more than what was originally, budgeted. So it stood out.
fire protection, it was,
How much more?
the estimate was 215, the low bid was 362.
The original estimate had $75,000 for the fire pump, And that's the number that I think is going a little out of whack. Now, we have a tremendous amount of heads in the attic as well, just to get the coverage that we need up there. That's added to it, but it's a tremendous amount of work for a project of this size.
Thanks.
If I could just ask, you said estimated, what was it's the 1.547? That's the estimated, what they had in the bid? You said some other number.
If
She
you
was
look
reading
at,
off of
if you
this
look
one.
at this document here, the one that CBA provided,
Oh, that's a different one?
Yeah. Down at the
it's a separate
bottom.
handout.
Oh, 1.579?
Yeah.
Keep
Right
going.
down.
Was what CBA had estimated
No, I
that
don't
those
have the
different
single.
categories would come in
You
at.
don't?
We're about 50,000 less. There it is. Okay.
And there's a big difference in the HVAC on this too, as I'm looking at
Favorable, but
it.
it's still a difference.
Right, favorable, but still,
That's good. This is
especially with,
pretty
the-
close.
So even with the big increase with the fire, still came in less.
70,000 less in HVAC. Almost 1,000 more in the
96,000 for roofing and fire. Okay. Any other questions on that? Next is review and approve draft OPM RFP. OPM RFP. Anita, do you,
It's in our package.
yeah, do we have any?
Yeah, I didn't receive any edits before tonight's meeting. Basically, it's almost the identical document that we used before, just modified the scope to reflect only the remaining work still needed, and inserted the date of March 2nd for proposals due date. That's the earliest we were able to do it because of the central register requirement for, and the other requirements for posting. So this central register posting goes out tomorrow, so I'll probably start getting people contacting us tomorrow to request the document. So preferably, if there's any changes that you want to make, it'd be nice to get them done in the next day or two. We still have the ability to put out an addenda if we need to. But if we're going to do that, we should do that within the next week.
So the request goes to you?
Yes.
It's essentially the same one we had before, so
Yes.
there's no reason why we would, there's no issues with that. There's no reason, except that I saw your note. That's the only thing that I think we should possibly discuss is what are we going to do about pricing?
Right, pricing, and do we want to schedule some sort of a briefing session that, to schedule before the proposals are due, just to give people a chance to discuss it? It's not necessary, but if we're gonna do it, we should put it in here.
I don't think we haven't done that in the past, right?
I don't think we did it
In
for
any
the
of them.
first round, no.
I mean, even, yeah.
I don't know what you did for the police station,
Just-
because that was already in process.
Why, we usually put an estimated dollar amount? No,
You-
so
you-
What's
You
the
have not
purpose?
put- I mean, you have the ability to say it's a set fee, or you can say it's gonna be a negotiated fee. If it's a negotiated fee, you can let people know how much you have budgeted for that, so it puts some sort of guidance in for them, so that they don't come out with unrealistically high values for their contract, once we start negotiating with them. But, it's up to you.
Normally a percentage of the construction cost, is it not?
that's what I thought.
It is, but that doesn't stop some proposers from putting in higher amounts.
But we can put a fee in not to exceed,
Yeah,
right?
We can say, I think what we can do is that we can let it be known that we have certain value available, yes.
so why wouldn't it be what we had budgeted minus what we've already spent would be the difference, right?
Right, so we could put the amount that we had been holding for the construction phase in there as available dollars for that contract.
And then the contract will come in at exactly that dollar amount.
But we've done a percentage before, right?
It's going to be negotiated also.
It can be negotiated up, like you said, not to exceed that certain dollar amount.
Right. the
Right,
budgeted-
'cause-
Budgeted amount, like John said, budget, not the, like Anita said, the budgeted amount. And then, you're right, I agree with Pat, but let's.
I don't
see
wanna,
what
I don't wanna put in, we have,
X amount.
you know, X dollars budgeted when the guy or girl we pick, in their mind was X minus 10% when they were looking at the project, but now we have X dollars budgeted, they're gonna say, well, I'm gonna put in my contract for the budgeted amount.
I agree, but I think the guy that's bidding or looking at this is probably gonna come to town, I would think, and look he can find out what we had budgeted at the last
It's all
meeting.
public documents.
Yeah, if they do that, but I don't care what we do on it. If we don't have to put a dollar,
When you say negotiation,
but then, like Anita said, if we don't put that amount, it may come in 50,000 over.
But if it comes in 50,000 over, we could say,
how is negotiation?
well, here's the deal, we have X budgeted, you can take the contract for the X budgeted amount, or we're gonna go to the next bidder.
We negotiated the last two places, the police station and for its failures.
Without any upper limit set, without, on the,
Correct.
But this one here, we clearly have a dollar amount set. That, did we not at the police station? Didn't we had estimated what we were gonna pay for OPM.
I don't know how you did it for the police station, because that was all done before I came on board.
I don't, you know, whatever,
I think it was
whatever
in
the
there.
board wants to do is
I thought
fine
it was a
with me.
percentage of what the cost of the building was.
That's how we got the estimate.
That's how I got this one, okay.
80%
So I guess the question is, do we want to add a dollar amount or not?
I personally say no.
So is that the motion?
Let's negotiate.
I'll make a motion to accept this as written, that the OPM, oh, that's the school's canceled.
Oh,
You want that now?
Is that the motion?
Not the school's canceled, I apologize. I'll make a motion to accept the OPM as presented, the OPM RFP, is that what it is? As presented in our package.
Well, it says RFP on the thing, but it is an RFQ, right? On the agenda, it says RFP. Right?
It's an
It's an
RFQ.
RFQ, yeah.
All right, so the request for the request for qualifications as printed in our packet.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and second. Any other discussion on that issue? Hearing none, all in favor?
aye.
Aye. And then the tentative OPM schedule is proposals due by March 2nd, already sent to Central Register. Subcommittee assigned to review during March 5th and 9th. Interview top 3, March 14th. Board of Selectmen vote to approve contract March 22nd. 21st. I added a day. Okay. And next is PowerPoint for the information session.
Maybe we could just check with Brent to see if he has, not yet? Okay.
So, turn this.
Anita, on the PowerPoint, Ray had sent an email with the questioning the percentage that we were using. I don't know if you responded.
I did, I just told him that, we've been using Mary Carney for years, and she's always had a pretty good handle on the municipal bond market, so I feel confident with what she's saying.
Was it 4?
Excuse me?
4?
It was 3, well, hold on, it's in your packet.
3.5?
I think it was 3.5.
Yeah, okay.
Do we have a dollar value in there?
Oh, it was separate handouts, that's what it was.
Yeah, I have it, it's 3.5.
Amount on that slide?
Somewhere.
Maybe not to show that slide.
Okay, we can look at this presentation.
You want that?
So who's,
Percent.
Alice?
Well, we'll look, yeah, we can go through it and then figure it
Yeah.
out.
I'll go through it and then I can take notes. All right.
Who's gonna be the MC of the presentations?
I would normally do.
Well, no, usually somebody from the senior
Usually-
center will,
Right.
from the,
No, he knows well.
Phil, are
He
you,
did that last time.
I thought,
Are
you
you
know,
gonna be
last
the-
time it was always Fisp.
Lisa asked me to, so I assumed yes, but
okay.
yeah,
it's up to the committee.
yeah,
No, I think you should.
we can still break it up into
I do too.
pieces, but you can do,
Okay.
Right, my
So-
last time, it was Phil, Bob, and then Ray and Pat took
Right.
over for financials.
right,
And you and Giles
We'll
did
break
some
up,
too,
yeah.
so
So the first slide's gonna be just,
that would be the first side.
okay, so that'll be up, and then we'll go here. Report phase 1, phase 2, complete construction project.
So should we put a snow date on that, just in case?
You want
Special
this
town
one?
meeting.
You have conceptual report. So that was just the $5,000,
10,000
$10,000 pretty picture.
with, yeah, Catlin.
Conceptual plans or we put
Yeah, that report didn't, that should
I'd
say
say
conceptual
plans.
plan, not conceptual report.
Okay,
Can we say completed?
okay.
a, so maybe put a check mark next to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, completed or something.
Completed construction,
Project, how's that?
complete construction project.
That doesn't make sense.
That's
No,
not
it's
the
not
right, that's not
complete.
the right.
You want to
word.
just say complete bid documents?
Yeah,
The document's
complete pre-construction,
Complete bid documents.
then we gotta, then the bullet point,
Details should come out.
The phase 2 is basically everything that we are now.
right.
So,
Bid documents.
bid documents,
Maybe complete architectural,
Architectural plans and funding amount.
so complete architectural plans instead of complete construction project, and then underneath, detailed bid documents,
That's fine,
detailed funding.
okay.
Yeah.
You get that?
Yep.
And then the next one, final funding request.
That's it.
What,
that's basically what you're doing now.
Which is, we're gonna say phase 3 is to ask the town to fund the rest of the building.
okay.
So you really don't need to
I would take that.
take the
phase three.
phase 3 out, because we're going to a special town meeting, and that
Right.
is to ask for the funds.
We're gonna have the funds, on phase 2,
Okay.
and then town meeting, February 26th. And then, what's the,
Do you have a snow day? Should-
snow day as well?
February 28th.
Wednesday, the 28th.
So I would put that in there,
Yeah.
just in case.
Snow day,
So day is the 28th for the town meeting.
The town meeting.
snow day is the 28th, yeah?
Available will happen one way or the other. Doesn't matter.
On the 27th, right, no matter what the weather brings.
So, everyone, as you remember, we're working in 3 to 4 phases. Phase 1 was the conceptual phase. We hired an architect for $10,000, right? And the architect came up with conceptual plans and a projected cost, which we'll discuss with you in a future slide. The second phase was to get detailed final bid documents so that we could come back to you tonight with the final funding request, which we will do in succeeding installments. These two bottom things are not necessary because we're going to be there.
Well, this is
But you
not-
gotta tell us.
This is for the informational meeting though.
Road,
These are
this
the
is
way-
road
These are
show.
the presentation meetings. Okay,
Yeah.
We'll do that here, and then at the end.
and we'll take that out
Yeah,
for the town meeting.
Phase 3 right now.
Take out, yep.
Okay, so I'll dress that up a little, but basically what we're doing is setting the scene for them. We're working in 3 to 4 phases. The 4th phase is construction. And maybe that should be at the bottom, right? Phase 4, construction begins or something.
You want to do that, phase 4?
for, well, we're not here to lose.
Well,
I think that phase two should be labeled as, design completion and bid document phase.
We did change it.
All right, phase three should be, construction phase / final funding. Because there will be no other money beyond what we need for the construction phase.
We want that phase 3 right now, and just put up the other 2 bullet points in.
For the voting.
Right, and then Phil can say, now we're here, this is where we are, now we're here to ask for the money so we can build the project.
And then you could ask phase 3 if you want construction,
And
if it
the
gets
next-
passed.
The next slide is, let me go over with you what we have completed.
You got rid of conceptual.
Yeah.
so,
Bid documents.
Design development bid documents.
Yeah, I like design development too.
so just. And you can delete the next whole section.
Do we want a bullet point under that that says, complete architectural drawings? And then a second bullet point that says, firm cost estimates?
That's the most important thing, it's gonna be in something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can go detailed bid document slash,
Okay.
just go detailed bid document slash, what is it called?
Okay.
Final
Final
funding?
price, is that what it is?
Firm bid price.
Very big price. It should be in big letters.
Big
That's how Phil
dollars.
says it. Phil says it in big letters,
Just
even
put
though it's
dollars-
small.
Put dollar signs up there.
So then phase 3 is not gonna, are we gonna put anything there? Are we
I
gonna
think,
I take that out.
Yeah.
take that one out?
Then maybe on the bottom, the construction, beginning springtime, something like that.
well, no, because this is just the why are we here? That'll,
Why
that'll
we-
come in later.
Okay.
So, do we want to talk about, okay, remember we went to town meeting to get the 1 million something? That's what we, we,
I think that's,
That's.
Yeah.
that comes up later.
That comes-
Okay, so that's,
that
that
comes-
was the next slide then.
so do the next slide. And then these next 2 slides,
Obviously,
for Phil's, schedule is really financial, that would be you. and-
Yeah, when
right.
those numbers come in, Ray and I
Yeah.
will update the presentation with
Right.
the,
So you'll put a couple slides in after this?
well, like,
But in the
the-
meantime, we should use the updated budget estimated
Yeah.
numbers, because
What-
these aren't,
No,
What I think we want to achieve with this slide is we're happy to report back to you that we were successful in designing a senior center that's really right for West Boylston, as well as keeping costs down. This is what we did. You appropriated $1.1 million for architectural documents and to bring us to the point where we could put out for construction quotes. We have spent about $800,000 of that. The rest of that money will go towards the construction. We may or may not want to say that last thing about the $800,000. Also, so we went through that phase, and now we have a firm construction bid of $4,300,000. The conceptual, see, you left something off here, and that is, we should start with the phase 1 concept, right? The conceptual architect gave us both drawings and an estimated price of $6.5 million.
Yeah, right there, yeah.
Where is it?
It's
Oh,
down at
it's
the
down
bottom.
no,
I'll
I just
just-
pointed out that she's missing a comma on it.
What I want to do is I want to get into a thing where we're starting with a 6.5, right? And we're ending with the 5.5 or whatever. We have designed a senior center that is right for West Boylston, and we have brought the cost down to, total cost down to 5.5.
I want two slides. We should have, the first slide should say, Phase 1 conceptual drawing costs, and then this is
List it.
what we said the price was, this is what we were told the price was gonna be on the conceptual drawing.
On the first slide.
On the first slide.
Good.
Then we go to then we go to this slide, and we say, pre-construction complete, $1.1 million allocated. and-
After our work was done, that 6.5 has now become 5.5.
Right.
Because we went this route and went to town meeting and
Yes.
asked for the 1.1 million,
Yes.
we were able to really get these numbers.
They're firm numbers that aren't going to change.
So the question will come is, do we still have, did we spend our 1.1?
He said eight, I don't know if that's
800,000.
numbers right, but you said
Yeah,
we spent
something
19.
around $800,000.
That's
We spent at the
That
1.1.
question will come immediately.
Well, we're gonna have that paid.
I'll get an updated number before this
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah,
Get an
right-
idea.
Right now, since this is televised, right now, just so that the public knows, that 4.3 million is still the original estimate. That's what we're gonna find out when we have the bid openings in a week.
That's still estimate.
Do you want a slide in between this one and this one that says the original estimate was 6.5?
Well, Chris, Pat suggested it should be on the first slide.
Yeah.
It should be on this
The
one then?
result of the
No,
first,
yeah, the answer to your question is yes, there should be another slide in between the two.
Insert.
So it should just say, phase 1 brought this number.
of course, I'll have this written down in a way so I can go back and forth between slides, right, and, right, but I think what we want to emphasize to the voters and the town meeting members, right, is that we went to work, and this is what we came up with, significantly lower cost and a really good design.
Okay.
That will
That-
obviously,
And that's,
Change, no,
that'll be updated based on, once we get the numbers, me and Ray we'll plug those in.
okay.
and as John brought it to me the other day, and I think we're all aware of, we need to let people know that tax increases this quarter, right, were the result of valuations, not of police station being factored in. So we need to make that point somewhere. I don't know if it's here,
Yeah,
Pat.
A lot of people said that it was because the police.
It's not true.
It's not, right.
No, it did not.
Well, I don't know, we're gonna bring it, we're gonna talk about it at our selectmen's meetings.
Tomorrow night.
I mean, I think if someone asks that question, we have the answer.
We have,
Right.
we have the answer.
We will have the answer if someone asks the question.
Question
But
will be
it,
there.
really, this presentation is talking about the senior center. We're not hiding the information, but
Probably not, don't bring it up unless it's.
because if we have a slide about it, I think, I'd love someone to ask the question, we can answer it, but
Yeah.
this is just talking about the senior center, I think, but I don't know. We'll have these numbers, and these numbers will be better.
And I think somewhere in the subtitle of this slide should be new developments since the last town meeting. One of which is the landlord is not renewing the lease.
Oh, so we're trying to say,
So just above landlord, just put new development, and then whoever speaks on the slide can say
Yeah.
more about it. Vacate as of May 18th, yeah, 2018, that's good.
yeah, that could change, I don't know, but it's in there.
The lease is up,
The
Lease
lease
is
is up
not up.
June 2019.
June 20.
okay, so no, so I don't think that should say,
Should say.
I don't think the people should think that we don't have a senior center as of the 18th.
I-
It should be the end of the lease.
I think we shouldn't refer to the fact that we have this temporary situation we have to resolve at all. I think that we should just refer to what the existing lease
Yeah.
document is.
'Cause that's
If
what-
people ask the question, and they probably will, they'll say, we've heard such and such, we'll respond to those questions.
Right, no, yeah, I think the only thing that should be is when is the lease up?
June 2019.
So change that to June 2019.
Because if you think about it, we gotta get temporary quarters anyway. So,
We have a senior center till June 2019.
Well,
Yes.
but after that, we got nothing. This is before.
Okay, you got
The,
that?
whether the temporary quarters really has nothing, no
To do with
bearing
it,
on
right.
this.
We
Yeah,
have-
yeah.
That's a
we have a
complete-
lease.
completely
You still
different
have a
thing.
lease.
exactly.
So you got, so that's just gonna change to June.
June 2019.
Yeah.
Or, just say we have a lease until June 2019.
Yep.
And rather than saying, we want to vacate the.
Yeah, the Council on Aging Center lease runs out in June 2019.
I have no problem with saying the landlord is not renewing lease, because
Yeah, no, right,
as,
right.
as,
The
after
next
June,
sentence should say the Council on Aging / Senior Center lease runs out in June 2019.
right, yeah. But it is July 2019, we don't have a building.
That's correct.
Okay.
The suggestion was that we really don't need to do these
Pictures.
slides. We're not really talking about this building so much anymore, so we can take these out.
No, I think
I
we
don't
need
mind,
to,
yeah, I don't mind
we need
running
to,
through it quickly, still
Okay.
telling the people what they,
this is the reason we need this building, that should definitely be in there.
because it's still a big, I mean, it doesn't have to spend a lot of time, I don't think we have to spend, everybody, I think everybody at these informational meetings will know this already, but I don't see why we
But
can't.
at town, you might get a different crowd at town meeting that are gonna come to the informational
I
meeting.
don't see any reason why we can't.
Do we know before the information session that we are going to be there or we are going to be in a different place?
All we know is
over
who-
there, right?
That we don't have any,
We have no
that's
idea yet.
not, that is not, that's still being negotiated, that's not,
Still not.
yep.
Okay, so we will keep these.
Yeah, we have at least till 2019. And the next slide just talks about.
The visits, how many people wondered how much it's been used, so we kept that one in there. And then going to,
Just back to that one, visits last year. We just have to have the answer when someone says, well, what's 8,069?
yeah,
And that's-
8,069
so-
people came through our doors and
No, if I walk
participated.
in one day and I do 5 different things, that's 5 counts, right?
Yes.
Yes, so not,
That's not people.
Well,
coming through
it's
the door.
one person that comes through that door, and they do 5 different things, you know.
he counts as 5.
Yes.
Yeah, so just as long as we have that answer for him.
Because I will ask.
Yes.
But we gotta, I mean, I don't know, Phil, if you wanna put something in there, but again, we can talk about what, unless it's coming up,
What, Chris?
when we open a new senior center, what we've seen is
Yes.
triple, I
Yeah.
mean, so we can say it, or we can put a bullet point that says it.
Yeah, because we took out,
No,
we did
right.
have that chart with comparing with Rockland,
Yeah, with Rockland.
but we took that out.
No, but it may be a bullet point that just maybe says something about how new buildings, because we've
Their
learned
increased
that,
participation.
we've learned that from every architect that came here, everybody that's ever talked to us.
And that's true with anything that you do that's new and shiny, people come.
Like our town hall, look how many people came when we opened.
Oh, but look at the tennis and basketball courts.
No question.
The long range planning committee, right, met and used a figure that the senior population in West Boylston will double by when?
2000,
Oh, there's a slide for that.
yeah, 2030.
So,
This,
Go out in that far.
and then the next 3 slides with the plan, the elevations and the site.
did you change the elevation wording?
Yes. West elevation facing
That's
Prescott, front
south.
facing south.
West, yeah. Okay.
I don't think it matters, but maybe site, picture the outside, then floor plan? I mean, it probably doesn't make much difference, but the site where it's going,
Yes,
Yeah.
just drag,
Just
say
slide that
drag
up.
slide 10 up in front, yeah, there you go.
right there, and then we can either do picture or floor plan.
I'll do the picture for the second.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna look like.
you're here, this is what it's gonna look like, this is how it functions.
Yep.
And do we have the poster boards?
We'll bring those on easels.
Yeah.
We have those, right?
Do we have updated versions?
Not full scale, no, I just,
Do we have that picture, 2 up?
yeah, this
Do we have
one,
number 9? Do we have that on a,
not a large scale, not, I don't have it,
how about the next one up?
and I only have small versions,
Assume John can get us those.
If we have it electronic, we can just go to Staples and get it.
yeah.
I think it's important to have the 3 of them,
Yeah.
the building and the floor plan.
What size do you need?
We've been using the 24 by 36.
So I can plot them out for you.
Okay, that'd be great.
So you want the elevations?
No,
and-
Elevations and floor plans,
It's the 3 slides right there.
The 2.
just,
Oh, you want,
No, just 2 slides, you're right.
yeah, 2,
Just those
usually,
two.
usually 2.
If you would just email me the exact slide you want, how many copies do you need?
Just one.
Just one.
One of each.
One
Just
board.
one, and we have the back.
Well, do we want to do it as a slide, or, I mean, I don't, for the floor plan, we have that floor plan, one level, 8,500 square feet, 10,300 square feet gross. I think it would be better to just have the floor plan itself filling up the whole thing. We don't need to take up a quarter of the slide with, that we're gonna,
Well, we're watching this slow. This
Yeah.
isn't open now, so it's gonna be a little bigger, plus that thing's gonna be a little away.
what I'm saying is
But I
the
agree
poster
with that.
board, do we want that?
Oh, no, just the floor plan.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We don't want the slide. We want just the floor plan on the poster.
And Anita, do you have those?
I don't have the updated versions. Lisa, can you send those to Brent?
Not the slides, the plans themselves.
What you embedded into the PowerPoint?
But Pat, are you also saying take off on this slide the word floor
No,
plan?
no, not the
from
slide.
level?
The
Okay,
slide is fine, but when we make a
Okay.
poster board out of it, we don't need
that on
the
there.
left-hand side of this slide.
Okay.
Yeah, either way, or an email to John to just say, get us, I don't know what quality these are, I don't know if that's a problem when you print them.
Where'd you get these from, Lisa?
he emailed them to me, I mean, a long time ago.
So they should be.
Somewhere
If they're
around here,
emailed,
yeah.
if they're emailed a
Check
long
the
time ago, they're
file
good.
size.
Yeah.
Yeah, check the file size and see, whether we can.
As long as it works out, okay.
Now, so you're saying a long time ago, that this plan has been tweaked a little bit.
This plan, oh yeah, this was like one of the first
All right,
conceptual.
So that floor plan is actually not accurate then?
It's pretty accurate, it hasn't
Sorry,
changed.
All that changes
You want
some
it
size and some
Spatial
inside stuff.
allocation.
But if we have an
Have the
updated
updated.
floor plan, we might as well use the latest and
But
greatest.
the updated floor plan is construction floor plan, it's not a graphic one like this, it's not colorful like this. It's an actual architectural plan.
And this isn't showing sizes anyway, so.
Okay.
If the room is another 2 feet bigger,
Right.
I think
Fair
this is a,
But you're saying where the rooms are located is where they're going to be?
Yes, it really hasn't changed that much at all. The elevation,
the doors are right in the kitchen.
no.
Those are, oh no, we moved one
We
to the other
moved, yeah, to
side.
one side.
So,
Minor little
I'm
things.
sure John has this, he can easily send it to us.
Update it, yeah.
Like I said, I mean, this is like one of the first from the conceptuals, everything.
But
like
he could
that.
give us, I'm sure he could give us this with the doors in the right spots and everything, without the 1,000 little intricacies.
Dimensions, yeah, stuff like that,
I
yeah.
would ask John this.
Okay.
What are the rules for community use of public buildings called? What's the title of that?
I'm not sure
I'm
the
not sure what
question.
you're asking.
Well, there are rules, are there not, for community groups to use public buildings, the library, schools.
Well, each building has their different policies regarding use of.
Facility
I
use.
understood that it was all under the same policy.
No, I mean, the school department uses theirs, and I'm sure the library uses theirs. I based mine kind of off the school and what our own uses are.
So,
It's under an umbrella.
so the rules of the current senior center for community use of senior center property, right, were developed from the other rules in town for the use of public.
Right, facility usage, facility rental. Mhm.
What areas in, on that floor plan, are
limited.
Possible community use areas.
The multi-purpose room,
Yep. The
Well-
lobby, obviously.
lobby, I mean, and anybody can ask to use a room, you know, it just depends on the availability.
So for example, if somebody in town, a group in town decided to have a pool tournament, they could use the billiard room?
Yeah. Mhm. They just have to go through the whole rental and facility usage.
Or there was a group in town that wanted to do arts and crafts of some kind,
Yeah.
they could use the arts room?
Yeah.
I think there's a key word that you said there. If a private outside group wants to use it, there's a rental agreement. If the town wants to use it, there's no rental agreement.
Well, they still have to go
Rental,
through
you're
it.
saying rental meaning
Well,
just
that's-
a use
that's-
form.
Yeah, permission, like when I go to the school to use it for my annual
Right.
statewide mile challenge, I have to fill out
A form,
the
a
form.
request
Yeah,
form.
Yeah, request
But
form.
if it's up to you as the director, if you're gonna rent this building out to other than
Private,
town
yeah.
use, that's up to you.
That, and that- yeah.
We're
and
just
they'll-
talking about for town use,
Yeah,
pretty much the building is
Town
available.
Group use, there's no charge.
Right.
A small,
there'd probably be some,
Clean up
yeah, I mean,
fee.
it depends if it's a one-time thing, or if it's like, if it's gonna be a weekly or monthly thing, then they can help with operational cost or, you know, electricity costs, just, you know, so,
but if it's an outside the town group, they would pay a rental fee.
they would pay a fee, yeah. So,
It's not been set yet, no top.
and they all have to sign a, you know, release and liability and all that kind of stuff too. It's all in there.
If the question is asked at one of these sessions, I think the answer is every room in there except for the director's office, which has sensitive documentation, will be available for town use with coordination with the senior center director, and leave it at that. We don't have to get into the details of fill out a form, do this, just coordinating with the senior center director.
So what about the room, the medical?
Well,
Yes, yeah, my office, a lot of the storage, I think, would be off limits, you know, stuff like
I
that.
think we're getting
Yeah.
too much detail. The
Yeah.
building is gonna be available for
For
community
use,
use.
yeah.
I think that's fair. We don't have to say, but you can't go in the director's office. I mean, that would be like using the town hall. You
Well,
can't
Can't
go
go
in
into
the, you
the
can't go in the
office.
treasurer and collector's office, but you can use any room.
On the other hand, to engage people positively and creatively in thinking about how they and their group, non-senior group, might use this, that might be a good thing.
I think,
I mean, it gets them in a positive frame of mind from the point of view of,
yeah,
I think we're
But
getting
we've-
into
yeah.
way too much detail. I think
Right.
the building is, as we said, there's gonna be use of this building for, and if we wanna list a few different groups, but we don't know what the groups are.
well, I know we don't.
But, I mean,
But we
can't.
do have all the policies in place for groups to use it, much
That's-
like,
Policy's a good word.
yeah,
Right.
just much
We have
like,
all the policies in place for community groups to use at the senior center. They are only to contact the director who will work with you to work out all the details.
right.
and-
Because we went through this with the Bridge Club, you know, so everything's out there. you know.
I think it's definitely something, the question's almost certainly gonna be asked, so this is something that is a positive that we wanna let people know
There'll be
before the
thought
question's
about
even, before the question's even asked.
Yeah.
It's available.
And it will be available for use for town groups. All the policies and procedures are in place
Yep.
once this building is built to make that happen.
So on the other slides is why in the mixture property, did you want to keep this and did you want to move it up to where the site plan is? It's like- Even though it's like you've already kind of determined that you want to reiterate this.
I don't even know if it's necessary.
How many slides do you have total?
Uh,
Not many
15.
more. Yeah, so
Okay,
I
yes.
don't think, I think this is good. This
Yeah,
is
this is good
still-
too.
So do you want to put it up with the slide, the site plan slide? You know, why it's,
Yeah, I guess it could go before we show the property. Right here.
Yeah.
And then you can say, here's the property, here's the building. I think that flows pretty good.
and we have population.
I like this slide, but this slide did bring a lot of questions.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you have the one slide that you have up top that talks about money.
The first one with our,
No, that one, no, yeah, that one. There'll be a few more slides detailing different things, but where do we want the financial consideration? So we want that at the end, do we want that where it is now?
I think,
I think it should go more toward the end.
we always did at the end of all the.
Yeah, so that,
take this.
I agree that's,
Put it at the end.
What's that?
We have this, and then we have this.
What's the next slide next to that?
Summary of the slide.
That white gets lost in that.
Yeah.
Well,
This
just-
is
you
one of
can
the
just make
old
it-
ones, and I
You can
didn't
make it
update
black.
it at all.
Just make it
I
black.
didn't update it at all, no.
And then the next one.
Because
must
you
be-
can see here, it's like, we talk about fall of 2017, so this was just an old one that I just did not touch.
all right, so that, we have to redo that slide.
Update it.
Do we want to reiterate, okay, you already spent $1.1 million on this building. We told you we were going to be coming back, now we're looking for X.
And I think.
I think so.
Originally, we thought it was gonna be 6.512, now it's gonna be 5.
That's still in the slide.
It is, but summary of approvals, we saw it. I think it's important to tell people.
I think whoever talks about it can say it.
Right.
Remind them that we've already spent that much,
Yeah.
that money,
And that money, it's not coming.
and not coming back.
Other informational sessions,
Yeah,
Okay.
and then,
endorsements. That's it. This one before, you had it right in the beginning, but I felt, like we could do it at the end.
Did the-
Those needs to be changed too.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So get
Do
that.
did the Council on Aging and the Friends, and you're saying that it's been endorsed?
They voted at their meeting?
Yes.
And for phase one or just for the entirety of the senior
For
project?
this phase, yeah, well, for the whole thing, but.
And both groups have endorsed the plan that we've come up with?
Mhm.
Okay.
Talk to the president of the Friends, and they're okay.
If there are no more, that should be centered.
And has the Fisp actually taken a vote to endorse this plan? And I guess we did, because we're said, yeah,
We're
we
the
said,
one
yeah, go
who
with this plan.
got
So,
the,
yeah.
we brought it to town and got the
Well,
million voted.
But did we actually say,
Did a vote,
Well, I would say that you
probably add
you
it
should
on
add the
there.
Board of Selectmen to it too, unless we can bring it up at our meeting tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So, I guess if we didn't vote, we could vote right now, if we.
I remember at the
If
last,
we need a vote.
well, at the last FIST meeting, you were gonna ask other committees, or, financial committee, I don't know.
We
So
talked about
that's,
financial, that didn't
They
make any
decided
sense.
not to move ahead.
the Finance
Right.
Committee would never say that this is this,
Right,
their opinion is going to be.
Anything that costs money, they usually,
And planning
But
board-
I can tell you what the Finance Committee is going to say. They're going to say, we take no position on this, we're not endorsing it, we're not saying we shouldn't do it. This is a decision on what you want for the town, and if you want to spend taxpayer dollars on this new building. That will be their.
well, I hope that's their answer, but let's see what they say.
Traditionally, that's the answer that,
So,
that's the answer I would expect.
I think we took a vote for FISP, but let's do it again, just to make.
if we want
were
to,
there other ones on the police station endorsements that you wanted to add onto this one?
I don't think we had any, I don't think we had any others. We
Do
didn't
you
even
want,
have an
so do you
endorsement.
want this slide at all then? I mean, or
Well,
is it just kind of a
Just
given?
For formality purposes, I'll make a motion that we endorse the building of this senior center at all of these informational sessions and at town meeting.
We have a motion and
second.
a motion and a second. Any other discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we'll put on the agenda for tomorrow.
And then we can put it on tomorrow, Anita. Can we add that to?
Can we add it?
Or
without
we
it
can
being
put
posted?
it in other, maybe? Or
I
is
can't
it not?
remember how Nancy worded the agenda,
I didn't,
FISP items.
I looked at it, but I don't know.
If she put other, we're all set.
She says,
I know she updated it a couple days ago.
She updated it to add the RAC.
Okay.
I mean, the worst, it's one meeting now, because then the 21st we have a meeting, so
21st we have to.
we can do it the 21st if we can. Okay, so, and then just for the last slide, just put a slide for town meeting, town meeting and ballot box again, and then we can keep that up when people are talking,
Okay,
so everybody remembers it. It doesn't have to be talked about, it's just there so we can use it.
okay. So this information right here, you want on the last slide?
Again, yeah, just a blank slide.
Don't you just want the special town
Yeah, just the
meeting
last
on
two
there, the
bullet
last two
Last
bullets?
two
You don't
bullet
want
points,
the whole thing.
This last one.
Yep.
With the reminder about the snow date.
Yeah, she's gonna add that, at least. Okay,
Good.
so we got, so I can just go, this list we got tonight is the one that was here tonight, is
That's
the
the
most
rest
recent.
schedule.
Okay, so the meetings that are set now, Saturday, February 17th at 10 a.m., right here in the town hall. Tuesday, February 20th at 3 p.m. at the senior center, the current senior center. Wednesday, February 21st, Wednesday, February 21st, 6 p.m., here again at the town hall. Thursday, February 22nd at 3 p.m. at Angel Brook. Also Thursday, February 22nd at 6 p.m. the library. Friday, February 23rd at 3 p.m. Hillside. And Saturday, February 24th, 10 a.m. the police station. So if you haven't seen the police station, you can come to that meeting. Okay. So that was- Okay, update question and answer sheet. Do we have it?
So
We have
it's
some,
in,
right?
it's in the packet, I believe. It's the one that we used from May, so the thought was we should, update it. So I don't need that done tonight. People can send me comments and suggested edits
I don't
over the next week or so.
see it, but I'm not. Was it in the package?
I don't remember if it was in the packet or as an extra handout.
I don't see it in the package. I don't see it as a can.
I'll send it out tomorrow, and just if people could get back to me on things they'd like to see modified.
Borrow this for a second.
Unless it's on the back, could be on the back of the page. Okay, so yeah, if you can send it, because it's.
Yep.
And then we'll look at what's there, if there's anything that can be removed that doesn't even answer any of the questions for this phase, and then we'll just add to it as meetings go on. Okay, update question and answer, see original list. Okay, any other information in regards to the senior center that we need to go over? Nothing? Okay. So, Mr. Hadley found the bill, I don't know if you found it, it was $2,007.70. So if the motion can be made for $245,441, I rounded off to 70 cents. That would be minus the $2,007.
So,
I'd make a recommendation, guys, since this is what would be considered a monetized punch list item. We take the $10,000 value, add the $2,000 to it, the $12,000, multiply by 1.5, which is $18,000. This looks about a whole.
Just
So off,
to be safe.
well, wait, so
so,
that's not off the 247, because the 10,000's already out of the 247, right?
so add, you're saying add another
$8,000 instead
$8,000 to the two, withhold an additional $8.
So that would be, look at the calculator.
Well, I'm actually,
245,
I'm putting these in so I don't miss a meeting.
245 minus 8.
Take
Right.
237.
$8,000 off it, it's $239,499 is what we wanna make this. We wanna withhold an additional we're gonna drop 8,000 off of that, not just the 2,000 for that invoice.
You want 8,000 plus the 2,000,
No, because 10 plus 2 times 1.5 is 6, 2 and 6 is 8, take that away from the 247.
Hey, you math people drive me nuts. John's usually right with you.
So if you
I
would,
write
if
it
you
down.
amend your motion to 239,449.
I amend my motion that we approve the RAC at 249,449.
239.
239,449.
what is the original number?
247,449.
That included the 10,000 holdback already.
That was already out, right? Yeah.
No,
That-
the original, how much was the original before the
It
thing?
was 257 something, I don't know the exact.
So the 10,000's out, we took another 8. I'm sure this is gonna be fixed very quick, you know, I would hope.
Do we have a completion date on this?
No, we don't.
We're still working on
Is
it.
there an issue?
Well, let's just, 1 second, I'd like to ask that too, but, so I have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any other discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now, I guess this could have went under other on the police station, but going back to that, what are the issues with the police station that we're still not?
So the HVAC is the biggest. There is a solution, they gotta get back and get it corrected, so the plan of action is in place. The action has not occurred yet, that's the struggle right now. We had a broken threshold, that's a warranty item that's gonna have to get taken care of. We have the unpaid electrical bill, and then we have the fencing issue that's still outstanding, that the planning board wanted. I think you guys had said you're getting proposals on that.
Right.
And what was the issue with the HVAC? Was it a leakage somewhere?
No, they tied in the, well, they don't know, to answer your question, but it almost has to be. Just because we're losing pressure somewhere between source and output, and there's nothing else, there's no equipment or anything in there that's
Got it all.
so it's gotta be leaking somewhere. So they've come up with a resolution for it through the engineer, but it just hasn't gotten put in place yet. Now, the resolution should be fine, you shouldn't be losing any long-term effects from it, but it'd be better if we could find the leakage.
We're talking about taking the ceiling and fix stuff. Is that vents?
Yeah.
So they need to replaster and stuff after?
And then repatch it?
They're gonna be plaster?
Yeah.
So is that, so who's doing that?
So RSC is responsible for doing it. Now, they're looking for their HVAC contractor to pick up the bill.
So is the holdback of $10,000 enough?
That's why we added 1.5 to it. So I think the $18,000 as a total is enough.
I
I
see.
think $15,000 for the HVAC issue is enough.
Okay.
But my other question is, how long are we expected to wait to get this done?
So we can, I don't have a definitive number of days for you. You've waited long enough now.
Right, that's my
So
thought.
it's getting to that point of ultimatum time, so I'm gonna have a conversation with Tom and RAC and see what their plan is. And
So you'll get back to us with,
within the next week, I'll get to Anita. If we don't have a plan and a time, we'll get a letter together and explain to them that they haven't done it, and we're gonna have to find somebody else to do it.
I can't believe we're holding a check for $250,000. He hasn't got it done. It's amazing.
well then,
Well, we're not
should we
holding it.
hold it? Right, we just voted to give it to them.
We have been.
We have been holding it, but we just said to,
How long has that been? A month? 2 months?
Since December.
Yeah, it's been over.
We cut the check in December.
So that's a real good point. If $247,000
right.
holdback wasn't getting him to fix it, why do we feel an $18,000 holdback will now get him to fix it?
Maybe we should hold it.
Well, that's my point.
You know, John McMillan was recommending that we release it because of the impact on the other file submitters who have completed their work, who have been waiting to be paid.
Yeah, but if that is the case, you know, they should be working on it.
But we've been getting a number of phone calls directly to the town. I mean, there's a process where if a filed subbidder is due money, they've completed the work, they can actually go around the general contractor and go to the town and say, we demand to be paid. It started to become a problem, so we want to get them appropriately paid while still holding out the value of the work yet to be completed.
But if we give them that check, we still have no guarantee those people are gonna be paid.
Except for 15,000.
So, if you're not comfortable with the 18, you have the rights. I'm telling you what I think it's worth, and what John thinks it's worth. If you don't feel comfortable with it, you have the rights to withhold additional money. But
So,
Anita makes a very good point. We don't want to cause other issues and get ourselves in a situation where we're withholding too much money for no valid reason.
do we know how much is actually owed to REC itself?
What portion of the 257,000, going back to the original number, do we know what portion of that is just RACs? Is there any
I'd have to
way?
go back to the rec and see that. but-
There is a way to figure that out, right?
So why wouldn't we just hold that plus, or just hold that amount?
I think we should maybe increase it.
Is there detail enough on this?
Yeah, I can get it off.
In that case, why don't the RAC be here?
Well, no, well, because this committee never dealt with RAC, so we can't start now.
Detail sheets, yeah.
Are the ones that you gave me?
I think you
The
give them.
smaller the figure is, the more inclined going to be to walk away from it.
Yeah.
But Brett, I guess, I made a statement that if 247's not getting him to work on it, they are doing some work on it though, are they? Are they
Yes,
not,
they're
are they just not?
responding-
Yes,
they're
okay.
responding. I don't think it's, look, to answer your question, there's nothing, right? 18,000 versus 247, there's nothing that's gonna make them go do it any faster.
They out,
So
right.
we do have their bond. What's gonna have to happen next if they don't respond, and I think it's more the subcontractor than anything else, is we're gonna have to start making the, what won't be idle threats. You know, contact their surety, put them on notice that if they don't complete it within X amount of time, we gotta give them at least 10 days. Then we start procuring somebody else to do their work, and we withhold the money from their account.
So,
And go ahead.
when they do the work, who inspects it to make sure, not just Mickey Mouse, something?
So we're gonna have the engineer come up from the design team.
You know, pays that.
I'm sorry?
Who pays for it?
Well, yeah, it's a good point. We should have RAC pay for that. There should not be any additional cost to you.
No, absolutely not, anything more to the town.
We're paying nothing for anything that they have to fix because they made
Yeah,
a
and
mistake.
And they've, you know, the design team has already spent some additional time on it. Out of, they haven't sent a bill in that I know of, but they have spent additional time on it already.
If RAC decides to walk away, and we go after they're bonded, and it costs us $40,000 to fix this issue out of pocket. Well, we really don't care what it costs RAC to fix it with their subcontract. We just have to pay the rest of the contract. But it costs us $40,000 to complete the work. Their bond is paying us that is gonna pay for that $40,000.
Correct.
So if RAC doesn't fix it, it'll get done, and it'll be paid for by RAC's bond.
I think that sounds good, but I don't think it's as easy as just saying they go after the bond. Is the legal cost is, it's not just we go after that bond and they say, okay, the bond says, oh, you're right, it's 40,000, here's
So
a
it's
check.
worst case, you know, what you're talking about is absolutely, you have a fallback position is what, we're talking about. We don't want to get into that.
Because I think, yeah,
And
okay.
they don't want their bonding company knowing about this kind of stuff, so, it's time for me to go ahead and be a little more forceful with them.
But as John said, if somebody else has to come up and inspect it, we want to make sure that we're not paying for that. So does that mean we should hold back more money?
Or, why don't we did hold it this long, why don't we table it for next meeting?
That's not fair to the subcontractors.
Who are trying to get
That's
paid?
not our fault, that's their
No,
fault.
but
But they
they're,
did the work.
they did the work, and they're now contacting the town, and they have the legal right, like Peter just said, they can just say, we did the work on your building, pay us.
And what would they have to do? everyone have to do, I mean, how do we pay them like that?
We have to get verification that indeed the work's been completed and the accurate value, and then we would actually cut a check separately to the subcontractor.
So we'd have to get hold of the architect and say, on every one.
It's a lot more headache.
It's a pain in the neck.
I don't know the answer to that, but I don't think we can pay them directly. We have a contract with RAC to pay
No,
them.
there is a legal mechanism that requires us to do this.
But
Use for-
the only thing I'd like to know is, out of the 257, I'm going back to the original number, how much is for the HVAC guy? But we don't know that answer tonight, because that's what we could minus that portion out, because RAC may not be paying the HVAC guy, even
Right,
if we
that's
give him
what
the
I
money.
said.
Well,
We don't have the detail sheet for this revised bill.
correct. So even if we do know that number, we're giving the money to RIC and it doesn't guarantee where that money goes.
Doesn't mean they're
But
paying
it
it.
gives you a little bit of justification and that's okay.
The problem is, you got an electrician take the lights out, you gotta get somebody to cut the sheet rock out.
No, I don't think 15,000 is enough.
I don't need,
If we had to go out and do it, I think,
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, you know what it costs to do anything in these buildings. I mean, it's,
I think we should maybe double.
No, I think that we should hold it, let them answer next meeting.
We can't,
It's not fair.
we can't hold $250,000 because there are other vendors that haven't been paid for
Yeah,
2
but
months.
we don't know what are the vendors, right?
We
don't
do,
know how
because they're
much
calling
is-
town
How
hall.
much is for the HVAC, how much is for this
Right.
side? We are
that's
not-
all we know, all I would want to know is
Is
the
this,
HVAC.
all the amount goes to
That makes-
RAC builder?
Let's hold, pay $200,000 and hold the rest,
So that would-
$57,000. That way, $200,000 will be able to pay the rest.
We don't,
We don't know.
I don't personally know that answer, but if 200,000 is enough. And I don't know, all the town can say at that point is, when contractors call, we can say, we paid RIC. It's up to them to pay you now.
Absolutely.
Because he may not still pay him, we can.
Yeah.
So
We
I-
can't control
And
that.
that's actually happened on jobs before, not this one yet. Brent, if we gave this a day, can we get the level of detail needed to break this out?
So let me do that and I'll give you a real estimate, a conservative estimate as to what we think that work is worth. I'm hearing what you have to say, so let me give you some backup by looking at the detail and then giving you an estimate of the work to complete.
So possibly withdraw that, how would we need to withdraw that first motion?
Withdraw this vote.
So how
Right.
would Pat need to do that because he made the
You
motion?
made the original motion.
I'll make a motion to
Siobhan.
revote, take another vote on the last, to reopen the vote on the last motion.
And I'll second.
All right, okay, motion is second, any other discussion, hearing none, all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. So now can the motion be, this board,
Defer to the Board of Selectmen.
Well, that was a motion to revote. Now we gotta revote the original motion
That's what
and
I'm
say no.
Yeah.
We gotta say no.
no, I think the motion's now gonna be that we.
Well,
we-
what I said was, let's take a revote on that
Revote.
motion.
Okay, you're right, so we've got to
Okay.
cancel the vote.
So now you gotta call for the revote, and we all gotta say no to make it go away. Because I didn't withdraw the motion, I said, let's revote the
He
motion.
just re-voted. He just said,
Then make any motion you wanna make.
Well, I did, we just voted to revote the motion.
Okay, now, so do you need a
So-
motion?
No, so that carried, now you just gotta say, okay, let's revote the motion.
That's what I was doing.
Okay, but, so now we all gotta say no.
Okay,
we all have to vote.
I'll make a motion. Make a motion to RAC, invoice 11, revise, 47,449 dollars.
No, what happened was,
Now we say no.
we took a motion and a vote. I said, let's revote the motion that I had already made and seconded. So we don't have to make the motion again, we just gotta vote again. The motion, now we have a motion and a second, and it's been reopened for vote.
We voted on that, we
We
all
voted
voted
on
no.
it.
We voted to revote it. We didn't,
We haven't actually taken the
So
vote,
just-
is what he's
Anita,
saying.
I don't know what to
I
say.
think the cleanest
what's the
way-
cleanest way to do this? I have it straight in my head, but
Yeah.
I think the clean way would be to reconsider the prior vote by moving to not approve the RAC requisition
So
revised
moved.
11.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, any other discussion here, not all in favor, say aye.
Aye. all right.
Okay. Now, the motion should be that we're gonna
We're not
refer
paying.
this to the Board of Selectmen tomorrow, and let, this committee votes to let the Board of Selectmen
Yes.
work out the details.
And we'll have the figures tomorrow?
Okay,
So I'll give you documentation that you
minus what we
can
need,
fall back on.
and you can give us an, yeah.
And Brent, somehow can you communicate with him, maybe even document to Anita, whatever, right, to RAC, that, we're gonna get tough here, we're not gonna play games,
I'll call Tom first and
you know?
Yeah, tell them, we're still gonna check. That's the biggest way.
You know, and- You know, we're serious here, let's get this done, fixed.
Understood.
Do I hear a
Yeah.
motion?
So moved.
Second,
Oh, is that Anita's motion?
That's
yeah.
the one you just
No,
said.
that was the one to go to the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah.
All in favor? I mean, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
That was tough.
Wonderful. Did they fix it by now?
Did we hold enough back?
Other updates, no. I don't think there's anything. I think we other updated to death. The next meeting would be Wednesday, February 14th. Is that what we're staying with?
Do you need that meeting?
Valentine's Day.
But that's the day we will open,
So do we really need it?
February 14th.
It is the GC bid opening day.
Yeah, we need
Bid opening day.
to make it a quick meeting so keep it.
I should hope so. Maybe he'll bring you your voice.
So we're going to keep the February 14th at 7 PM. A motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So, you know why I didn't have this on my calendar? I had to leave the last meeting early, so I never.
I'm not going with that. You just
Pissed me off.
You really want to sign?